I'm all about the good vibes, the good vibes. We bout to have a good time, a good time. Leave my problems all behind, all behind. We living out the good life, yeah. I ain't gotta worry about a thing. Oh no. Had some obstacles I overcame. Oh yeah. You don't have to ever be the same. Oh Lord. Cause when we change the mind, we change the game. Coming through clutch. Coming through clutch. Coming through clutch.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's another episode on the Clutchvision podcast. It's your boy Kenny Clutch one more time, bringing it to you live and direct. I got my man from Jersey in the building tonight. Everybody, the life coach, best-selling author himself, my man Kevin Knox is in the building. What's going on, big boy?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Thank you so much, Kenny, for having me on your podcast, man. This is love right here, man.
Man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, taking the time out, But before we get into anything, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost, it's been a wild first half of the year, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So first and foremost, how's the family doing on your end?
Everything is good, man. I actually just got a chance to kick it with my little man, my son, after 3 months.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, because I moved over to Delaware. He's over in Jersey, and they couldn't go back and forth for a little minute.
Right.
And didn't want to put him at risk. And so, like, after 3 months of not seeing my son, that was the longest I ever went without seeing him, man.
Yeah.
So, but it was a blessing to really spend some time with him this past weekend. So
yeah,
we good. Man.
How'd you get over that? You know what I'm saying? What were some of the strategies that you used to continue to keep your son, motivated and everything? Because going a long time without seeing your father is, 3 months, that's a long time. So
right. Yeah. I think the biggest challenge, because he's 4, getting ready to be 5, and I think the biggest challenge was that he didn't understand. So like, Daddy, where you at? You know what I mean? And so like, but one thing I do love about the technology of today, we had the opportunity to FaceTime, keep him occupied, you know what I mean? And so I tried to explain to him the situation at best to what he could comprehend and everything like that. But it just made it strengthened my communication skills, to be honest with you, because I had to be able to talk to him in a way that I wasn't physically with him. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was like, I wanted him to know, like, yo, bro, like, Daddy's here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going nowhere, you know? Right. And so, but it worked out. It worked out good, man. And when I got a chance to actually get with him this weekend, it was beautiful.
That's good, man. That's good, man. Don't you feel like this whole, COVID-19 and all this quarantine stuff, don't it make you think about, the future a little bit more? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like many people weren't really prepared, for the quarantine, right?
Right.
And it's like this hit so many people in a different way, financially, mentally, emotionally. So many different things was going on. Like, what do you think, in your opinion, what should we be doing for the next time something like this rolls around?
I think that, all right, so let me back up. I think that when the quarantine happened, right, I think that a lot of people was so stuck on being quarantined physically that we felt that we don't have to be quarantined mentally. That's number one, you know what I'm saying? And then 2, I think that, these type of times or these trials, it didn't come to break us. I think it came to actually make us, like, strengthen us. You know what I'm saying? So just like when you're working out, like, you know what I mean? You got to be stretched, or like you got to tear down your muscle to become stronger. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that what happened was this was actually, granted, there was a lot of loss and everything like that, which was unfortunate. But I think there was a lot of gain as far as, like, this was an opportunity for us to sit down and actually think and process, like, all right, what could I do? What can I plan? How? And I'm talking about starting with me personally. Like, how do I become better the next day than I was the day before? You know what I mean? And things like that. And I think it challenged us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what? Let me get my finances in order. You know what? Let me get my health in order. The things that I think we took for granted, we started to really begin to see how can we focus in that area to become better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was just telling a friend earlier, it's like we value the things that we see more than we value the things that we don't see, So it's like, I think, like, we're in a space right now where we should be, more so valuing the things that are on the inside versus the things that are on the outside. And
Right.
so many people, you know, during this quarantine, were so focused on the outside, you know, atmosphere. Like we lost sight of, you know, who we are on the inside. Like, who are you? You know, like people were in relationships and didn't even know the relationship that they was even in.
Yeah, right. It was like, yo, let me break, like, when this year started, Kenny, everybody was like, yo, 2020 vision, 2020 vision. This is my year. This is my year, right? Which is beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing, Kenny.
Talk
Here's my
about
thing.
Right?
Here's my thing with this, right? How can you, 2020 vision is so that you can see clearly, right? To be able to make sure like all is good. But when you go to the eye doctor for them to check to see if you got 2020 vision, you know what they do? They cover our eye. They do certain things to create distraction.
Yeah.
And so, like, how can we have 2020 vision without our vision being tested to see if we really do have that 2020 vision? And in other words, like, we got to be able to see it before we see it. And it's a lot of people that talk. Oh, I see it. Oh, I'm going to be this. Oh, I'm going to do this. But wait, can you see when distraction comes? Just because distraction comes don't mean that, like, the blessing still ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to see through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's when I say, like, I think that we got challenged. I think we had, it was our faith that had got challenged because we was too busy walking based upon materialistic things or what we see. But like, nah, faith ain't like, yo, it's all about, it's not about what we can physically see with our eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's faith is like seeing it before you can actually see it physically. You got to see it mentally before you can see it physically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, amen to that. Amen. I'm gonna throw some claps for that. Throw some claps for that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel that, you know, we have to see everything that you just said. The way that you just broke it down was perfect to me. You know, and now moving forward, people need to really realize, like, listen, yo, this thing could be over in an instant. It could be done just like that. Now, and I say this at the end of every show. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow worry about itself. And today is all you have. And if today is all you got, like, yo, you got to go full throttle. You have to go all the way in. There's no time to sit there and just be sitting around waiting for the quarantine to end. Because I feel like the first couple of weeks of the quarantine, people were just sitting around, not doing nothing, right?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you are someone that has a certain level of determination. You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations in the past, and I've just seen your work ethic and your growth and, you know, how you inspire people. Let's take people back really quick, you know, to version 1 of Kevin Knox. You know what I'm saying? So now you're a life coach, you're a speaker, you've written 5 books, and you're a Barnes & Noble bestseller. So take us back, you know, a little bit to the beginning on how you actually got into that.
Yeah. So so phase 1 of Kev Knox, it had nothing to do with none of this.
Right.
Actually, Kenny actually was a dancer. All right, let me clarify. Dancer. I was a hip hop pop locking dancer. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hold up, Kev. You my man. But as a dancer, I gotta correct you real quick, okay?
Well, all right, go ahead.
There's no such thing as pop locking.
All right, listen. All right, I was popping and I was locking.
There you go. There we go. Because I would listen, man. You trying to get me in trouble on my show? You know, the dancer's gonna be like, "Yo, Kenny, why aren't you correct?" I'm correct right now, y'all.
I was locking. I was on my beach.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, like, that's how I started out. Like, ever since, like, you know, that's what I always wanted to do, man. And I was like doing background dancing for certain artists and things like that. And so what happened was when I turned 18, 19, that's when I kind of like started getting more involved in the church. And then I came across the whole mind thing, right? And so I had the opportunity to perform at a couple schools, right? And I went number 1 in the nation in 2010. And then I got to rock with artists like Ty Tribbett, The Truth. And then I got to go on my first tour with my guy, Mark Collier. Shout out to that's my mentor, my pastor. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, it was fun. I got to do this for 5 years.
Wow. And
I thought at that time I was walking in my purpose, but really it was just a step. And so, you know, like, with dance, that's how you express yourself, right? And you know how you can really hit people's emotions through your expression, right? That's one. But as a mime, I ain't talk. I just was out there dancing. Right. And when my guy, Mark Collier, he took me on my first tour, I got a chance to see things that like it was mind blowing to some of the things that I was saying that wasn't right. If you feel me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my greatest fear, Kenny, was like I was always in search of my purpose, but I didn't know what it really was. But I thought that dance was it, right?
Right.
And what happened was my fear was like, God, I don't want you to take this away from me, because if you take this away from me, I'm gonna go back to being nothing. I'm gonna go back to being nobody. Because I was traveling, I was doing my thing with it, right? And then one of a mentor came to me and she encouraged me. She said, God gave you another gift, and it was the ability to speak. And now, Kenny, this is the second time I heard this, because watch this. Let's go back. When I was in high school, right? I'll never forget, I wasn't really that good. I wasn't that good in my grades and all that. I was, you know what I mean? I was just fooling around in school. School wasn't really my thing. But I was good in track. I was good in ball. And I thought that I was going to be able to get a scholarship or something like that. And I remember being with my guidance counselor and my mom and stuff like that. And they told me like, oh, Kev, like you didn't get your scholarship. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to start off with going to community college. And it was just like, dang. And my mom was like, see, look at you. I knew you wasn't going to do nothing with your life. Because my mom, and she was like, yo, you dumb, you stupid, you ain't going to never be nothing. And it wasn't that. It was just that, this is from my mom. You know what I'm saying? And it was just that she was just that disappointed in me. You know what I'm saying? That to the point where I disappointed my mom so bad that she even was like, yo, I don't even know what to do with you, right? But you know what's so crazy about that? That guidance counselor, she said, hey, Dad, listen, when Kev get in the real world, he gonna make it. And then I was like, I am. And I was like, how am I gonna do that? They said, because he could talk. I was like, talking just got me kicked out of class. And she said, hold up, you just using your gift prematurely. So let's fast forward. I'm miming, right? I'm dancing, I'm throwing my thing, but I'm still seeing all of these things. I had no idea the entire time God is throwing up something in me to prepare a message for all the things that I was seeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so once I ended the mime career and everything like that, especially in the church, they was like, yo, why would you stop something that God gave you and everything like that? And I was like, nah, I'm on a mission to go to another. It's now time for me to now speak and share my message that I believe God gave me. Because sometimes we want to step into our purpose and we want to do certain things, but it's certain like mess and tests that God has to take us through so that he could develop a message. So I literally took my mess and was able to turn it into a message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was able to take the test that I went through and develop a testimony. And so, and then from that point on, I started my business 2014 called Hard Knox Life, you know, playing on my last name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I went through the school of hard knocks.
Yeah.
And so from that point on, you know, I went through a traumatic divorce. I went through like just hell, bro, to be honest with you.
Right.
But my thing was, instead of like going to drugs, going to like alcohol or anything like that, I just wrote my pain down. And it just so happened that I wrote so much to the point I ended up writing myself into a best-selling book.
Wow.
And then from that point on,
into a best-selling book. That's crazy.
Yeah. I turned my pain into purpose. And it was crazy because people was like, yo, as a young black man, you know, it's not too many men that really open up about their emotions of what it is they went through as far as being hurt or, you know what I'm saying, just being honest and open.
Right.
And so people was like, yo, I want to hear you talk about the book. So I said, shoot, if I could write one book, maybe I could write 2 books. If I could write 2 books, maybe I could write 3 books. And then after a while, I just was like, oh, snap, I'm up to 5 books. And then like my most recent book became a bestseller off of Barnes & Noble. So I was like, oh, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then from the rest just been history, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's crazy, yo. And you said something, you know, that's very deep, yo. You know, a lot of men don't really express themselves, you know, and we bottle up a lot of aggression and anger instead of getting it out in a more productive way, you know, for lack of better words, you know. And it's like, how do we as men, in your opinion, you know, what are other ways outside of writing it down that can we do that or whatever to get out that expression, to get out that emotion, you know, because the more it stays bottled in, the angrier we can get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that it comes down to honestly really knowing the definition of who we really are.
Right.
Because I think that as like you supposed to be tough. You supposed to not let nothing break you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's not the truth of a man. in my opinion. Like, I think that a man is someone that is vulnerable enough to be able to express how they really feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best way to be able to lead, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
like, if I'm broken or whatever, like, all right, it's okay to admit, oh, yo, I'm broken. You know what I'm saying? And I might be here, but guess what? I'm not gonna stay here. That's the difference. I'm not saying be no punk. I'm not saying be no wimp, nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like, we got to be able. I think that men get this tough love type of vibe so much that we forget to love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you, my brother, Kenny, but it's okay for like you to be able to open up to me about what you're going through and be like, yo, I got you, bro. I'm gonna hold you up. Versus you get around me and you act like everything is all good, like you're gonna be straight. And then now we wonder why we struggling with mental illness. We wonder why we struggling with depression or anxiety because we scared to open up to one another. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, I looked up something. 70% of illnesses start within the mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of times y'all hear me say, like, when we change the mind, we change the game. Because if 70% of illnesses start within mind, that means 70% can end with the mind. You know, if we can be mentally strong and build up, you know, give us some brain food every single day, you know, imagine what we could do, right? And you just have this aura about you where you're very calm, you know exactly how to approach a day and how to help people, you know, get through the mess that they're going through. And you have seminars all the time and things of that nature, which we'll get into. But tell the people, you know, what is what's your process as far as like getting your day started in because every person that I've run into that speaks has a certain process during their day, has a certain way that they do things, and organization is key. So tell the people, you know, what are some of the things that you do to get your day ready?
Yeah, I got a real simple process, bro. Like, I wake up about 4:30 every morning, right? And the reason why I do that is because I try to get ahead of the game, right? And so one of the things that I do once I get up at 4:30 in the morning, the first thing that I do is I take the opportunity to read. Like, sometimes I read my word, or sometimes if it's not my word, I'll read like a self-help book. And sometimes if I don't feel like in the mood to read, I'll listen to a 30-minute podcast, just something to feed myself, right? And then once I got that in my system, by the time like it's about 5:15, I'm already taking a walk. You know what I mean? And the reason why I like to get in that fresh air and I like to meditate on what it is that I just read. Right. And so I'm thinking on it. Sometimes I don't even read real deep. It might be like a line or two, but I'm just allowing that thing to get in my system. You know what I mean? And then like I got like a little note in my notes in my phone. I have these affirmations that I say. You know what I'm saying? Just to set the tone for my day. You know what I mean? And I like to put myself in a particular vibration because whatever the vibration I'm in is what I'm going to attract. You see what I'm saying? And so by the time I get back to the house and it's like almost 6, I go ahead to my shower. I'm already like, once I enter back into the house, oh, beast mode is already locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because I've already prepared myself. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. And from that point on, like whatever, like I got to tackle for the day, I always set my goals the night before. You know what I'm saying? Because your subconscious mind is already working at it the night before while you sleep. You know what I'm saying? So wherever I laid out the night before, by the time I get back, shower and everything like that, once that 7 o'clock hit, oh, it's game time. I'm ready. And I start knocking things out. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the most important part of my day, bro, outside of like the breakfast and all of that, is honestly, bro, those affirmations. You know what I'm saying? And that meditation. That's to me, that's the most critical time of my day. Because that sets this foundation.
Do you feel like if people were to use affirmations more, do you think that would abuse? You think that would boost up maybe like their mental, their immune system, even, you know, just their confidence level in general?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For every negative thought that you have, right? So like, let's say like I'm like, yo, Kenny, man, you're amazing, bro. You the man, bro. Like I'm hyping you up. But like, all right, now let's say, oh, Kenny, I don't really think that's a good idea. I don't think that you could do it. Do you know now that you have that negative thought, you have to hear the positive thought at least 17 times just to get rid of that one? You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is that like those affirmations that we speak over ourselves, we have to continually do that to be able to eliminate, like, all right, you know how, like, when you say change the mind, change the game.
Right.
I'm passionate about the mind. Because at the end of the day, people come out, they be like, oh man, if you want to change your life, you got to change your mind. But how do we change something we don't understand? So before we could change something, let's understand how the mind works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so we have two parts. If you don't mind, we got two parts to our mind, right? We got the conscious mind, the ability to make choices, right? And then we got our subconscious mind, which, like, it just accepts whatever information that's given to it. It doesn't have the ability to choose, right?
Right.
Watch this, Kenny. When you was talking about, like, why we got mental illness and disease and things like that, it started with us, bro.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, with this pandemic and with all that's going on in the world today, a lot of people have fear. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it is fear that has killed more dreams than failure ever has. It is fear that is robbing people of their best days, robbing people of their future. You know what I'm saying? The COVID-19 hasn't even gotten to certain people, but the fear or the worry or the doubt about it is killing you before that even get to you. Do you understand?
Exactly, bro.
So watch this. We have to, if we get understanding of what fear is, we can then fix it. So watch this. Fear is caused by ignorance, just simply not knowing. Just not knowing, right? When you don't know something, the natural reaction for a human is to worry or doubt. Right? And when we worry and we doubt, that's a choice, meaning we're consciously doing it, right? If we consciously worry or doubt for a minimum of 21 days, you know what we do? We then impress fear into our subconscious mind.
Wow.
Now watch this. Now when fear is locked within our subconscious mind, that's what, like, there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his or her heart, or I'll say as a man or woman thinketh in his or her heart, so is he or she. Right? So you're literally impressing fear to the heart of who you are, right? And whatever is in the heart of who you are, which is AKA your subconscious mind, you then manifest out your physical body. And that's where we start to manifest anxiety. But as men, and even not just as men, but or women too, when we got anxiety, you know what we do? We don't want nobody to know, so we suppress that. Yeah. And you know what happens when you suppress anxiety? That's where we get depression. And when you get depression, we're at a dis-ease. And after a while, that dash gonna go away. Now we got dis-ease. You see what I'm saying? And that's that whole process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Exactly. So it's basically, you know, if you think you suck, then you suck. But if you think you the best, then you the best. You know what I'm saying? You are who you think you are. And if you believe that you are, you know, something great, then that's who you are, and be exactly that. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, we got Kevin Knox right here today. Yo, make sure you share this with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, your stepdaughter, your stepsister, your stepdad, your stepdog, your stepcat. I don't care who it is. You share it with somebody that needs to get this knowledge right now. Share it with somebody you love. Share it with somebody you love. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you guys go ahead and like, subscribe, comment below, and give me a little, and click that bell. Give me a thumbs up. Now, Kev, I want to get into this real quick, man. You do, I see you doing a lot of different, you know, seminars and things in that nature. When did you start getting into the seminars?
I would say, like, so after about 2 years after I was coming out with the books, I was getting booked to do a lot of speaking engagements and things like that. And it was cool because, like, people were booking me to speak and all that was awesome and everything like that. But I was confined to pretty much what it was that they were asking me to do. Right. Okay. And so, and at the time, like when I first got into it, I was more categorized as more of a motivational speaker. Right. And that's cool and all, but I realized that I was kind of cheating the people to an extent. And the reason why I say that is because I was motivating people, but I wasn't giving them the information that they needed to really change their lives. And honestly, when you do a keynote, bro, people are only going to remember about 14 to maybe 20% of what you said. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so what I was like, I want to take matters into my own hands. I want to have my own events. So that way I wasn't confined to the rules of other people. You know what I mean? And then I could kind of like do workshops and really take my time with people. Right. So that way, because I always believe inspiration and motivation is key. Right. But it's information and empowerment that's going to unlock the door to true success. You know what I'm saying? And so we like when you say, yo, if we change the mind, we change the game.
Right.
I believe like at the same time, we got to get that information.
We do.
And information changes situations, bro.
Right, exactly. So let me ask you this. So when is your next event coming up? I mean, like I know you probably had events, you know, how has that really affected? Let me just ask you that. How has it affected, you know, the process now, being that, you know, we got the pandemic and everything going on. So you moved everything to online?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was hit hard, but you know, because I was excited. I actually had a couple events coming up in February as like the pandemic just had really started to hit. We had what's called the Determined Boot Camp coming up, based off of my book and stuff like that, helping people achieve their goals and their dreams and things like that. But when I realized I was a little discouraged, bro, to be honest with you. And my grandma, she came to me, she said, listen, if you don't take it, you won't make it. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And she said, you know, she told me it was this.
Ooh, hold up, let me drop that for grandma. Let me drop that for grandma.
Yeah, yo. And it was crazy because at that time, right, Kenny, you know, not everybody believed in what I do as far as an entrepreneur. And I'm talking about my own family. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, listen, man, need to go ahead and get a job. You need to switch it up. Like, this whole thing ain't going to work, you know, with this whole pandemic thing. And my grandma, again, she says, do you walk in the shoes of your greatness, or do you walk in the shoes of the irrelevant opinions of others?
Right.
And I was like, she's like, let me tell you something, kid. If you don't know who you are, you only leave opportunity for other people to tell you. Right. And so she said, listen, you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You don't let this stop you. She said, your faith must always pass the test of discouragement. And when you come across things like this is just opportunity. See the test as an opportunity to graduate to the next level in your life. So when we started this podcast off, we talked about like what are some of the challenges that we have to go through, and it stretched us, right? So I said, ooh, this is it. So I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take everything online. And so not only that, I started an online academy called the School of Hard Knocks. You know what I'm saying? And so now everything that we was doing in person, guess what? We took it to a whole nother level online, a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And so now not only you can take a course on your own time, at your own pace, on any device. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a beautiful thing. So we don't stop.
That's amazing, brother. That is amazing right there, man. So let's shift gears a little bit here, because I think this is you know, an important topic that we need to speak about. And you know, recently the events with, you know, George Floyd and so many others that have been affected by, you know, police brutality, you know, Black people being murdered, you know, in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your first, you know, initial reaction? I mean, obviously it ain't nothing new to us or whatever, even seeing it, but just to know that it happened again, what was your reaction like?
To be honest, it was as if I became immune to it. Right. Because it was like, oh, there it go again. Like what, like, you know what I mean? There it go again. You know what I'm saying? And because the Ahmaud Arbery thing just happened a week right before that. Right. And so I think Will Smith was one of the people who said it best, that the racism and the police brutality, it's not that it's getting worse, it's just getting filmed. Right. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I'm just like astonished by is to see the unity. Like I don't believe his death was in vain. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, like I saw his daughter on top of Jackson, the basketball player. Yeah. Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson. Yeah. And she said, Daddy changed the world. Yeah. And this thing is global. It's global. It's global. Like down over in Philly, it was more people there than when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Son, I saw a video today. My homegirl Trisha Miranda posted it today. Like downtown LA. Son. Oh, like, yeah. It that joint looked like you was watching, you know, a biblical movie and everybody was following Jesus down that joint.
Yo, it was crazy. And it's like that globally, like I'm talking different countries. You know what I'm saying? Not just America, all over the world.
Yeah, I seen him out in France, out in London, like everybody. This is hitting see, normally, you know, when it hits home, And here in America, you know, you don't really have that big of an outrage.
Right.
But this time, it was just something different. Like God just put a whole spin on it. Like, yo, we gonna know.
Like enough is enough. And honestly, it's our responsibility to rise up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so like we've allowed the devil to be able to have his foot on our neck for way too long.
Too long.
You know
He been had his knee on our neck.
Yeah, it's way too long, man. This is long after due. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think that it took a courageous group of people to be like, all right, listen, like, bro, it's only but so long that you're gonna continue to get bullied in school and keep turning the other cheek.
Until you ready to, bruh. I say this all the time, yo. I say this all the time to people. I'm like, listen, yo, it's only you got a limited amount of time of bullying people.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, yo, the monster inside is going to tick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's going to be a wrap for you. So it's either you fall in line now and stop picking, you know what I'm saying, on the kid that just want to listen. Black people, we just want to do our thing.
Yeah.
Try to bother nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We man, listen.
We're trying to bother nobody.
No, not never. But I'll say this, man. It take one of the things that I'm proud of. I gotta give a shout out to even all the white people. This is the most time that I've seen this many white people really supporting, because it's it's deep when now all of a sudden they rocking with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not trying to make this like a black or white type of thing.
Right.
But I think that is a beautiful thing that all right, now you starting to see unity together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing. Not to cut you off, but here's the thing. I feel like it's a new generation of white folks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because remember, we're 40 years removed from the Civil Rights Act.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 40 years go by. It's a whole nother generation right here, now, that's in the mix. They didn't grow up or whatever in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're talking about, 1980 on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new set of people that think different, talk different, act different. Hip hop pretty much unchanged. The music is different. Everything is different, right?
Yeah.
But here's my thing though, right? Well, all of that is all well and good. And I think I'm about to say, all of that is well and good. And we appreciate it, right? All I'm saying is keep that same energy 6 months from now.
Yep. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that I feel like, bro, is that when it comes to the culture, that's it. Because we make the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's you get what I'm saying? You want that culture, but do you want to accept us as a whole too? And I don't think it's just a white thing, bro. Just to throw it out there.
It's not just a white thing.
I think it's a white supremacy thing.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Two different things.
You know what I'm saying? I think that what's happening is because if you pay attention to that, it's okay, did you see I think it was a 79, 80-year-old cat. They even pushed him out the way.
They pushed homie out the way, and he cracked his skull.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's not a white thing. That's a white supremacy thing to me. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to come together, and it's more of us than it is of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you confront the bully, it's all right, you start to find out how weak this bully really is. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we got to do it together. And after a while, because look, everybody wants change, but not everyone is willing to change. And I always say, bro, that things do not change because of time. You know what I'm saying? You were going through the same thing back at the Martin Luther King days. So things don't change because of time, but things change in time because of change.
Right.
But think about what change took place. Change ain't really we still in the process of trying to get it, if you will. But the change as far as we're forming together, we we decided to rise up and do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think I personally say this, and I'm claiming this right now. They got all of the reform for the jails. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Meek Mill and Robert Kraft and those guys, Michael Rubin, that are doing a great job with reforming the jails and stuff. Right, and then now you got the police reform, right? How about we just reform America, period? Real rap. How about we just reform America, period? From the education system, you know, to how certain loans are given out, to how, because look, I'll tell you this, yo. Some people might not like this, but I'm gonna say this anyway, yo. My thing is the government, and I'm not a big politician, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into all of that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just thinking, just a regular person, right? The government throws out a $3 trillion stimulus to Americans, right? Tax-paying people like myself, right? And that's dope. I think that's needed because you had people that was out of work for mad long. So, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody got it like you got it, right? So I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I commend the government on that, right? And then they talk about doing another one. So if we think about it, that's $6 trillion we talking about, right? I ain't even heard there was a trillion until I was like in my late 20s, real rap. Like you just made up another like something else. Just cause it. So here's my point. If we could come up with $3 trillion, $6 trillion to give the entire country, all the taxpayers, some money, right, to hold it down. What's up with using money like that to redo some of these hoods that people live in? You know what I'm saying? To redo the cities. You know what I'm saying? And make Camden or whatever, or a hood out in LA or a hood in Chicago. Why don't we take down these projects and do new projects, right? Now, what I'm saying is that the look of the inside of a hood, the American hood, you already starting at the 1 yard line instead of the 50 like everybody else. You already got your back up against the wall just off of the look alone of your particular city. And it's like, yo, when I look around, like, yo, this joint look like a piece of crap. I feel down. I feel stupid. Like you're mentally already like, you know, taking people down because you're not investing no money into making America great again.
I think that's all. I think that's all a part of. I think that's all a part of the plan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's sad to say. I don't think that's going to change. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like,
but it's just a theory.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just you got these people over here at the top. Oh yeah, they up here. They not about to give away none of they like sacrifice their money. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we get this system where the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, but I think that we have a responsibility to educate ourselves because they not going to change. You know what I'm saying? But we have a responsibility to say, like, all right, we can change. Like, I can't control what they do, but I can do my best that, you know what I'm saying? Like, to do whatever it is that I can do to, like, start, all right, you know what? How do we start educating our own, how do we start developing our own schools? How do we start doing our own thing? You know what I'm saying? And so we got to, like,
but here's the thing.
We got to move different.
I don't even really want to do our own thing, right? Because I don't want to segregate us again. I don't even think black people really want segregation.
And I didn't mean.
And I'm not saying, my bad. I'm not suggesting that you're saying that.
Yeah.
But what I do agree with you is educating ourselves, teaching us, you know what I'm saying, so that we can get to that next level, right? And I just feel like what you just said, like everybody can change or needs to change, right? It's like in Rocky IV where he said, if I could change, if you could change, we all can change. You know, it's very profound. And I feel that it is up to us, and I agree with you, it is up to us to then go into our hoods and go into those neighborhoods and start to make the change. But here's the other question, right? Now let's look at the other side here. What if those people just love that life? What if they just love that life so much where they don't want to change and they don't want better? They like the ghetto, they like the hood, they like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got people that's really like that because they're comfortable, right? What do you say about people that are so comfortable in their ways where they're afraid to actually change?
I think it's because you can't. If you've never been exposed to nothing different, you don't know no different. You see what I'm saying? Like, honestly, Kenny, like, even in my career, honestly, it wasn't until I started getting bookings out of like the area where I live at, because I didn't have like no rich family or nothing like that. All we knew was the tri-state area. Like I was from Philly and Jersey. So
Right.
all I knew was the tri-state. The furthest we went was maybe Virginia Beach or something like that. But when I started doing my thing and I started getting exposed to going to different cities, and then now I started to go to this experience the world,
Yeah.
I started to see different. And when I saw that, oh, wait a minute, they move like this, they do this, I was exposed. So I think that unfortunately, there's a lot of cats and like homies that I had that have not been exposed to that life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when you get exposed to something different, it's your imagination start kicking in even deeper. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And so my guy, Jeremy Anderson, he said something like really profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always says like, yo, we always grateful, but we never settle. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I think a lot of times people just get to a place where, all right, I'm gonna settle with what I got. We okay.
Right.
Yo, no.
Yeah.
Listen, we've mastered survival level long enough. It's time for us to thrive.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of our life. Nothing is just going to be handed to us. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what, when you say comfortable, I think what it is that we just don't, let me say that you brought up Rocky IV, right?
Yeah.
It's easy. Like when you win a fight, right? And let's say you get knocked down, it's comfortable to just stay down. You know why? Because it's hard to get back up and face the very thing that knocked you down. Right?
Yeah.
But when you realize, wait a minute, here's a shift in perspective that Rocky understood. Oh yeah, he knocked me down. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt, and I'm even maybe embarrassed. But he didn't have the ability to knock me out. Yeah. That means that I'm actually stronger than his greatest hit. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if you can realize that, like, wait a minute, we've been in the hood this long. We survived off of oodles and noodles. We survived seeing all these deaths and these murders. And wait a minute, you've knocked us down. We got liquor stores on every corner. We survived the drug game. Like, one thing that you knocked us down, but you can't keep us down. That should show you that strength does not come from what you could know you can overcome. It's come from what you thought you couldn't. Because I know each and every people could look at, oh, I didn't think I was gonna get through that. I didn't think we were gonna overcome that. But guess what? You hear? You know what I'm saying? So if you could overcome that, why can't you overcome yourself? Like Dr. Joe Dispenza, he came out with a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, right? And he really talks, he breaks down like overcoming you. You know what I'm saying? Like the enemy is you. You know what I'm saying? And so it goes back to what my grandma said. If you don't know who you are, you only leave opportunity for other people to define it. So watch this, Kenny. Let's say me and you back in the hood, right? And I'm talking about like, yo, Ken, I don't really think we gonna ever get out of here. And you talking positive. Nah, kid, we could do something. I'm trying to do something with my life.
Right.
You probably will be hesitant to do it if I impose my fears on you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I don't think,
and we do that and people do that all the time.
Yeah. And here, I remember, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget when my mom moved us out the hood, right?
Right.
We moved from Philly to Glassboro, New Jersey, right? I remember I thought my mom was a sellout. I was like, yo, why would you move us out the hood? Why would you do that? And my mom, she said, let me tell you something. Everybody on that block wishes that they could be us right now. And she said, let me tell you something. Don't you forget it. She said, some people want to see you do well, but they don't want to see you do it or be better than them. But what I understood was when she dropped that on me, when I got older, I was wise enough to know, like, yeah, I'm going to step up, but I ain't going to forget where I came from.
That's right.
And I'm going to go back. And that's why when I said, like, when you asked me the question about the seminars, is that I want to go back to my people, and I don't want to just motivate them and make them feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because motivation is like gasoline. You can get a full tank in your car, but guess what?
Right.
It's going to run out, and you're going to have to go what? And fill it back up again.
Back up. Right.
I want to be like a charger, a one-time purchase. You know what I'm saying? You can use that thing multiple times. I want to go back and charge my people with information so that they can be empowered to now make their next move their best move.
Man. Hold up. All right. Hold up. My man Kevin Knox came up in here and started dropping bombs on y'all, man. Like this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, and we touched on so much in so many different aspects, man. And I think that we got to make our next move, our best move. And life is all about, chess, not checkers. And many people just
Oh yeah.
start sitting there jumping around and jumping around. And then that's when we get flustered. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing because we keep jumping and we jumping and we jumping. We're not strategizing. I think during this time right now, especially during, with the social injustice that's going on, I think the Black community, what we need to do is have a strategy. Because like Kevin said, you got to make your next move your best move. What's going to happen after the protests?
Right.
What's going to happen when the hype dies down for a second? What are we going to do inside these communities? What are we going to do, with each other inside of our home? Because I said this on my last podcast. Change doesn't start in the White House. Change starts in your house. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And we have to understand, like, listen, everything's going to start on the inside first. We're so caught up in the whole outer world, right? And we're so caught up in what we see on what CNN is putting on and what MSNBC and what's on Twitter and what's on Instagram. We're so visual on trying to see it, right? And it's supposed to be about 2020 vision, but some people are still missing it. They're not seeing the real vision that's clear as day. And the vision is like all this chaos that's going on around you. You got to pause for a second, guys. You got to pull yourself in and you got to take a look inside, because I tell you this much. The richest things are inside of you. For example, just check your heart. If your heart stop, you stop. You know what I'm saying? If your heart stop, you stop. Without your heart, we have nothing, because that's an organ that you can't live without. So therefore it's richer, you know what I'm saying? It's richer than the facial hair that's on your face. It's richer than, certain things on the outside, because it's what drives you, it's what keeps you going. So basically what we got to do is we got to check our engines and we got to get things, on the right path and on the right level. America needs an oil change, guys. America needs an oil change, a tune-up, a whole service joint. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this last question, because since we run out of time. If Kevin Knox had the entire world, you had all 7.5 billion people right now listening to you, right? We here in the second half of the year right now, brother. What do you say to them to encourage them to get ready for the second half of the year, to get past this pandemic, to make a difference in social justice in their homes, their relationships, whatever it is? What do you say to those people? Everybody's listening to you right now, and only you. What are the words that you give them?
I would say, honestly, you're alive and you're breathing, right? But the question is, are you really living? And it's time for us to stop existing. It's time for us to now live. And one of the things that hold us back is fear. But check this out, Kenny, or the world. Faith and fear both require you to believe in something that you can't see. You see what I'm saying? So it comes down to a choice. And the choice that we got to make our, like, the decisions we make today is what's going to determine our tomorrow. So my message to the world would be, what are some decisions, some positive decisions that you can make today that your future self is going to thank you for? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And like, we have to have this mentality, like, yo, we have to strive to be great. You know what I'm saying? And we can't wait for the world to recognize our greatness. You just have to go ahead and be great and let the world catch up to you. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, yeah, we marching, we protesting, and we doing all that, and all of that's fine. That's beautiful, actually. But now we got to now take action. And so, like, now we got to go back to them same blocks that we on, and now we got to start dropping information to be able to get changing situation and reverse the virus, starting with ourselves. You know
Wow, man. Kevin Knox, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. Before we end this, man, We're gonna play a little game, brother. We're gonna play a little game. You down?
Okay. Yeah. I'm with it.
All right, here we go. So check it out.
Okay.
So the game is called In the Clutch. I'm Kenny Clutch. You
Okay.
understand? The game is called In the Clutch. And I say this all the time. For those who don't know, like In the Clutch was started in 2009, and it's an acronym. And it goes like this: INDACLUTCH, inspirational dancers creatively linking upon the culture of hip hop.
Okay.
Right? INDACLUTCH, right? So here's a game. I'm going to give you a letter.
Okay.
You give me a positive word out of that letter. Only positive word. All right?
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
C.
Confident.
L.
Love.
U.
Unity.
T.
Triumphant.
Ooh. C.
Character.
Okay. H.
Hope.
There it is. My man Kevin Knox in the building, man. So listen, man. So really quick before we get out of here, I want you to tell the people how can they get to your online programs and where can they find you at? Shout out your Instagram and everything else.
Oh yeah. You can catch up with me on all social media outlets at Coach K Knox. That's COACHKKNOX. And as far as my website or any of my programs or books or anything more information on me is CoachKKnox.com.
Boom. There it is, guys. There it is. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment below, share this with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, your stepsister, your stepdaughter. I don't care who it is. Your step whale. I don't care. Somebody share it with somebody that needs it, that needs this positivity. Share it with somebody you love. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and give me that bell. Bing, bing. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up as well, too. Let's boost this thing up to the recommended. And let's get this thing popping, man. If you're listening to this on Spotify or on Google Podcasts, or on Apple Podcasts, make sure you go ahead and give me a review. Leave me a nice 5-star review on that and subscribe to the Clutchvision podcast. Guys, listen, this is about change. This is about getting to the next level. This is about, not staying stagnant and staying in a world where we don't want to live, where there's always hate going around. You don't want to teach hate. You want to teach love. So let's start teaching more love. Let's talk to our children. Let's give it to our children so that they can take this thing to the next level, guys. We will see you guys next time. And like I always say, when we change the mind, we change the game. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow will worry about itself. And today is all we have. And if today is all you got, you better make sure you impact today the best way you know how. It's your boy Kenny Clutch on the Clutchvision podcast. I'll check y'all later. Peace.